The new year spells more trouble for the royal family. A US judge has denied Prince Andrew's plea to dismiss a sexual assault lawsuit. This lawsuit was brought against the British royal by Virginia Giuffre. This now paves the way for a case to proceed. Giuffre has accused British royal of sexually assaulting her in 2001 when she was just 17, back then, and a minor under American law. Queen Elizabeth II's second son, Andrew, has repeatedly denied these allegations. While Andrew continues to deny even knowing Giuffre, he has been photographed with Giuffre and Maxwell in the past. But Prince Andrew has denied any of this, saying that the picture was doctored. Andrew's lawyers urged for the suit to be thrown out, or citing a settlement that Giuffre signed in 2009 with the late financier Jeffrey Epstein. Andrew's attorney said that Giuffre had waived her rights to sue other defendants. This is in relation to alleged sex crimes committed by Epstein. The deal was made public for the first time by a New York court this month. It showed that Giuffre agreed to drop a civil claim against Epstein for $500,000. But the American judge said that the agreement was riddled with drafting problems and ambiguities. The judge also noted that Andrew was not a party to the agreement between Epstein and Giuffre. Epstein is said to have killed himself in a Manhattan jail cell in August 2019 while awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges. And then Maxwell was convicted on the 29th of December of recruiting and grooming girls for Epstein. The 61-year-old Prince Andrew has not been criminally charged. He's rarely been seen in public since he was forced to quit the royal frontline in 2019. If the case proceeds and Giuffre and Andrew are unable to reach a settlement, then it could go before a jury trial, most likely in the latter half of this year.
Is permitted to move forward with her case and to try to build out the factual allegations in her complaint. There may well be an amended complaint once she learns additional facts, if she does, and eventually there may well be another motion for summary judgment at the conclusion of the discovery in this case. And if that is denied, as the motion to dismiss was denied, and I'm not prejudging that, of course, no one even knows what arguments will be made, but if that is denied, then it will go to trial.
For more on this now, royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliams is now joining us live from London for more on this story. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. Now, Prince Andrew's plea to dismiss the sexual assault lawsuit has been dismissed. What can you tell us about the impact of this on the British royal family?
Well, I think that this is extremely serious. You've summarized the background to some of this. These allegations have been current since 2014. Andrew denied them in a brief statement in 2015. And then in November 2019, he gave an interview in Buckingham Palace to Emily Maitlis of the BBC's programme Newsnight. That was so disastrous, he showed no sympathy whatever for Epstein's victims, that public opinion has been resolutely against him since. There's no question that in a year that we would normally be celebrating, as we look forward to in June, the Queen's Platinum Jubilee, this means 70 years on the throne, something completely unique. This is an extraordinarily difficult situation, and one that's causing the royal family undoubtedly very, very considerable concern. The point is, what happens from now on? And there are a whole series of possibilities and probabilities.
Right, absolutely. In fact, I was just going to come to that. Now that the dismissal plea has been thrown out, what can we expect going forward? What are they contending?
Well, I mean, the options vary. Firstly, if the process continues, as you mentioned, Judge Lewis Kaplan has dismissed the idea which Andrew's legal team had obviously placed a lot of hopes on, that the case against him, it's a civil case, not a criminal case. It must be emphasized that the bar for proof is lower in a civil case than a criminal case. Then in America, if the case proceeds, we have what is called the discovery process. Both legal teams have to exchange information regarding witnesses, documents, and so forth. And also, there is no question that at some stage Andrew, and possibly even his ex-wife Sarah Ferguson, and even conceivably his daughter Princess Beatrice, could be interviewed. These would be video interviews, and it's possible that this might happen. There are other options. Firstly, Andrew could. He's resident in Britain. There is a certain question about where Ms. Giuffre is resident when it comes to the issue of domicile. It is possible that Andrew's legal team might make something of the fact that she's currently resident in Australia, but was in Colorado reportedly in 2019, and that this could conceivably have an effect on the case. However, the issue is if he were to ignore it, he couldn't be forced to participate. As I say, he's resident in Britain. Then there would be a judgment by default, which would almost certainly go against him. As you mentioned, he resolutely denies the accusations, and that would be desperately damaging.
Absolutely.
On the other hand, in the United States, over 90% of civil cases are settled by a settlement being reached between the parties. Now, it's very possible that at this stage, since his legal machinations have failed, this is a route that he would consider going down. The problem with, of course, if you say you're innocent, then you would presumably want to fight the case. If, on the other hand, you settle, it does imply guilt. Equally, he has to look at the effect that this has had to have on the royal family, not only in this year, and also on what is left of his reputation, which, quite frankly, it has been, as far as most people are concerned, in tatters.
Right.
If, however, he wishes to settle, will she settle for anything less than a full apology and perhaps an admission of guilt, as well as possibly a sum of money? We don't know.
Right. All right, Mr. Richard Fitzwilliams, thank you so much for joining us with all your insights on this. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.